More than 150 Howard University students have been camped out for nearly a month protesting what they argue is poor and unsanitary conditions at the school. They say the school has been unresponsive to their concerns about things like mold in dorm rooms and dining halls infested with rats and roaches. On Friday, the school's president held his semi-annual State of the University address where he acknowledged their concerns and said his team is working diligently to address them, and university officials are now conducting tests to make sure conditions on campus are healthy and safe. The dean of the College of Fine Arts, Phylicia Rashad, and her sister Debbie Allen were at the school for the president's address and briefly spoke to reporters. Rashad is facing backlash for saying the students' concerns are being addressed. Take a listen to what she said.
When the students do speak out, and they have been heard, and the concerns have been addressed, and it's still not enough, what about that?
Oh, well, that's a whole nother thing.
That's what's going on now.
So are the concerns being addressed?
No. Okay, let's come inside.
This is not the first time that Rashad has faced backlash. She also faced it for defending Bill Cosby. So why does America's mom put herself in these problematic positions? Joining me now to discuss is author and cultural expert, Felecia Nance. Karen, you know, this is America's mom. I grew up at a time with the Cosbys on my television. I love my mom, but I also wanted Phylicia Rashad to be my mom because I wanted Claire Hudson to be my mom. I've met Phylicia Rashad. She's absolutely lovely and graceful. And yet, you know, these positions are just problematic. Why do you think that this is how she stakes out her positions?
I think that we all have to understand that there's conflict. There's always going to be conflict, and it's how we address the conflict. There's constructive conflict and destructive conflict. And I think, unfortunately, Ms. Rashad has gotten herself in a situation, both in June and now, with getting involved in conflict. She voices her opinion without realizing that she's in a different role now. In May, when she got as Dean of Fine Arts, she was really representing the university, and she was speaking from their perspective out of turn. Now we have a situation where there's an apparent conflict between her and her view of what the students are doing and her sister's view. So that's what we saw in this recent clip.
Do you think that she's going to be able to make that turn to being the dean of a school, which means that you are in fact responsive to the students and to their parents, and you know you're not superstar anymore? I mean, when she was defending Bill Cosby, even up to the point where he was released from prison, and she says, you know, made this tweet, said finally justice and all that, and she had to then issue an apology to the parents of those, to the students and to their parents, and said she was going to now go start to listen and all that. Do you think that a movie star, television star and movie star can really make that turn to kind of subjugate themselves to students and parents, which is what you're doing, because now you work for them?
Right. I think you said it initially correctly. She's America's mom. And so I think that that's what needs to be focused on, or her focus needs to be put in that direction. She has children. Her sister has children. And if we asked her, would you want your children to live in this condition, these conditions? And I think that would be the shift. She has to approach it from a humanistic perspective and say, do I want the people, my loved ones, to live in this type of setting? And at least hear the students out. And I think that that shift would be great for her if she could just put it from the perspective of a mom and having students at that school and subjected to those types of conditions. So I'm hopeful.
Let's pull back the lens a little bit, you know, and think about this as a Black community. Do you think that there's some portion of this that kind of gets people backs up because they feel like the students are speaking out of turn, drawing unnecessary outside attention to an issue that they would prefer to solve in family, so to speak, within the university, within the black community, but now the university and the, you know, the premier black college, by some people's reckoning, is now being embarrassed on the public space in front of everybody, including white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, and not being dealt with internally. You think that some of that is happening here as well?
Well, I mean, the students had a protest in 2008, and it was resolved within 9 days. And so we had the same president that we have today. And so what's different? And is he less tolerant? Does Phylicia Rashad have more of an influence in this particular situation? I'm not sure. But the students are adamant that the conditions are not being addressed. Their concerns are not being addressed. For example, the students say that the president said there's only 34 dorm rooms that have this mold problem. And all the students are asking for is that they be a part of that investigation. As a private investigator, I would ask that as well. Let us be a part of the solution. Let us be part of the investigation so that we're all looking at the same information. And maybe that's what Phylicia Rashad is missing out on as well, is their opportunity to come to the table and be heard and not just hear it from one side, the administration side.
But it also, isn't there independent bodies that could do this? I mean, I'm trying to recall, because, you know, how it was chartered by Congress. I'm not exactly sure whether governance is what the body is that was sending in an independent person to do the inspecting, but there has to be an independent inspector, right? The university can't do it by themselves. Even if the students tagged along, they can't do it. Somebody has to come in and do it. Right?
I agree. And I think one of the breakdowns is that the students, the alumni, and the faculty were not, they were taken off the voting portion of the Board of Trustees. That's one of the big problems. And the other is that both sides, both the students and the administration, have had their attorneys come together to try to resolve this issue. And even though I'm an attorney, I think that sometimes that muddles the water, and it's better just to have the parties themselves come to the table and be heard.
Karen Felecia Nance, thank you so much for joining us for a delicate conversation about America's Mom. Thank you. I appreciate it.